This old truck probably shouldn't work as good as it does. And it very well could be the worst financial decision I ever made. It's got a 5.3 liter out of a 99 Silverado. It has a Holley Terminator X system on it. But man, I love it. Welcome back to Rust and Glory Garage. The F350, it's still happening. I just needed a break from all the rust, seized bolts, and laying on the ground. That's where this truck comes in. My LS swapped 1987 K10. Yeah. 87, it's a V10. They changed it. K10's so much cooler. So let's take a look at this old Squarebody. The proper way to open a Squarebody hood. Ta-da! So I've had this truck for about 5 years now. It's got a 5.3 liter out of a 99 Silverado. It's got an SM 465, which was original to the truck. It still has the MP208 transfer case. These old trucks are like Legos. You can take pretty much any part and just bolt it together. At one point or another, I'm sure Chevy made a part to make a different part fit any vehicle. And that's kind of what I did with this. So the truck was originally a 4.3 liter V6. The guy I got it from had the motor, transfer case all pulled out, sitting in the bed. He intended to do a 350 swap, just never got around to it. So this truck sat for many, many years. The SM 465 was actually waterlogged in the bed. You can see that old sticker from 05 to 06. That's about how long it was sitting. So anyways, the SM 465 had quite a bit of water in it. I was able to tear that down, clean it up, and then I just threw a cocktail of various gear oils in it. Whatever I had laying around the shop, really. I used this random mixture just to flush out the transmission. Got a few miles into it. Got all the grime and surface rust sloshed around. Drained it and refilled it. And this combination's been running well for about 5,000 miles so far. This truck does dump runs. It's hauled home projects when the F350 was sitting in limbo. It helped me clean up my dad's estate when I had nothing else to put in the work. This truck's sitting with about a 4-inch lift. It has 35s on it. I went with the BFGs because, well, it fits the truck. White lettering out, of course. The truck did come with this roll bar. Pretty neat. It's not one of those cheap bolt together ones either. Fully welded. It's really nice, actually. I did have to swap the doors. The passenger side was all stoved in. Thankfully it didn't get into the cab too much, so I was able to pound out the small dent and swap these rust-free doors that I had from another project. The Warren winch bumper also came with the truck. Very period correct. These are pretty hard to come by. And it looks really good. I did add the Badland winch. It didn't have anything, and my equipment trailer was just sitting, so I pulled it off that and put it to use on this truck. So again, 5.3 liter. It had well over 200,000 miles when I got it. All I did was flex hone the cylinder walls, put new rings in it, and resealed it. All new gaskets. Just tried to freshen it up the best I could without spending a ton of money. I did spend the money where it mattered. It has a Holley Terminator X system on it. And I did add a couple other electrical goodies like a battery cutoff switch, fresh build, new truck. You know, you never know. So it was important to me that I could kill power whenever I needed to. It does have an air raid you build it kit. For the money and not having access to a TIG welder, just made sense to buy this you build it kit than it did to buy a bunch of different aluminum tube and try to pay somebody to weld it together or have a billion couplers. So nice clean install, pointed right at that hole in the core support. So we got nice fresh air intake. It works well. At the time of building this truck, I added an Amazon catch can. That proved to be a bad idea. Last winter the catch can froze up on me, blew the O-ring, and made a massive vacuum leak. But besides that, this truck hasn't given me any trouble since I've built it. This truck is far from perfect, but that's part of the character and what makes it awesome. We got old pinstriping running down the truck, along the wheel arches, down the fender. It used to go down the door, down the bedside. We got some on the cab right there. That's the kind of character that just makes these trucks so cool. We do have some rust we got to take care of eventually. The best artwork's on the tailgate. Be pretty hard to replicate that, so I don't plan on removing it at all. I did have a contractor back into me, and unfortunately put a nice dent on the body line there, took out my taillight. It also hooked the bumper and tweaked it up ever so slightly. But I'll say this truck held up great compared to his. That bumper and the bedside really tore a hole in the side of his aluminum body. That'll teach him for backing out into the road without actually looking. So I mentioned this door got stoved in. The guy I got it from really liked to off-road. I think he slid into a tree. So this passenger door was all pushed in. The cab's not so bad. There was a dent here. I popped it out the best I could and just threw some primer on it for now. But now with the black doors and the patina look, it's just grown to be a part of the truck. It completes that look, the character. So I've kept pretty much every sticker this truck's ever had on it. A couple dump stickers, high school sticker, another one on the other side. Because these doors came from a different truck, every part of this truck has a story to tell. A few other things I did add. I went with the finned aluminum diff covers just because I think it looks cool. Very 80s, early 90s. Thankfully I haven't had any leaks. Those have already been on there for over a year. That was one major concern. I hope they hold up good. So again, this truck's far from perfect. This inner fender came from a different truck. The original one, these always rust out right here, and this one's already starting as well. The driver's side rocker, somebody had already put some chunks of aluminum in there, just riveted on. But I do have a rust hole, so we're going to end up doing rocker panels on this at some point. The interior, well, it's held together by hopes and dreams and bad decisions. We got some flex tape sealing up the holes that were drilled previously for some bucket seats that were in here. The dash is incomplete, rattles. But every time I get in this thing, start it up, puts a smile on my face. This truck does have a sunroof. That was one of the aftermarket dealer installed optioned ones. I would imagine either on the lot or shortly after that was installed. I don't love it. I also don't hate it. It doesn't leak, surprisingly. But I've never opened it, and I don't plan on opening it either. I fear that once I open it, it's going to leak. So I'm going to leave it be. Add some extra light into the cab, but it is a blessing and a curse. Sliding rear window, nice touch, especially for the single cabs. This bench seat I reupholstered. This came out of yet another truck, just a parts truck that me and my dad had picked up. We took the plow off it and some other various parts, and well, the seat ended up in my truck. Armrests, yeah, I need new one of those. Cup holders, 3D printed. They're alright. They're not very secure. I'd like to do a better solution in the future, but it'll hold the coffee and, well, spare parts, receipts, whatever you want to put in there. Pocket knife. When the F350 was stuck in limbo and I had to haul heavy loads, I added a trailer brake controller, because these old brakes needed all the help they could get. And the equipment trailer I was hauling weighed about 3,600 pounds with nothing on it. That thing is massive. Trailer wiring, I had to add that as well. Again, just trying to make sure it's as safe as possible. This truck works, and it works hard.
You got it!
So the brakes on this have all been gone through. The rear drums completely rebuilt. New wheel cylinders, new spring kit, new shoes. Everything. I also did the rear brake lines like we did on the F350. And there's that rear diff cover to match the front. They just look so cool. Thankfully, still no leaks. These rear leaf springs, they're pretty heavy duty, which worked great when I was hauling heavy loads. The front brakes, all completely gone through. New pads, rotors, calipers, new wheel bearings, and premium Warren locking hubs. I picked those up at a swap meet, pennies on the dollar. Couldn't pass them up. On this side, rocker panel's in much better shape. Some pinholes in the bottom here. We'll just swap them both out at the same time. These doors are from LMC truck. They were on a parts truck that my dad and I picked up that had a big block in it. We ended up taking out the big block and saving these doors. That alone was worth the price we paid for the truck. This is just about a decade of sitting out in the weather in bare primer. They age quite well. Moving under the truck, you can see the exhaust. Long tube headers, 3-inch all the way back. Flowmaster, FX mufflers. And then it dumps right before the rear axle. This thing is rowdy. For the fuel system, I went with the Holley retrofit tank, sending unit, and pump. I built some AN lines with Summit Racing filter. And that goes all the way up to the fuel rail. The system works quite well. So that's the truck. It's not perfect. It's rough around the edges. But honestly, that's what makes it cool. And this is just the beginning. In the next episode, we're going to sort through some of the issues and get it ready for a road trip to a car show. This will be the farthest that this truck has driven in a single trip since I put it together. And honestly, it's probably a bad idea. Being that it's a junkyard LS swap, an old pickup cobbled together from parts from various other vehicles. But we're going to send it anyway. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. In the meantime, keep building, keep driving, and keep refining. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.